Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, no, good evening to you all again. No, welcome back to Lira in Law Broadcasting Live from London, England. Today, spring day, spring night, no? Mag-aalas 7:30, 7:40, no? So, welcome. Salamat po for joining me. I'm your host, Lira Simon Kabatbat. I'm a practicing solicitor, practicing lawyer with Douglas Simon Solicitors. Now, without further ado, let's launch into our topic. As I said nga, ang topic po natin, it's a trilogy, okay? Indefinite leave to remain, or rather applying for indefinite leave to remain. Last week, pinag-usapan natin making application for spouse visa, making an application for indefinite leave to remain. Today, we were going to tackle nga long residence route, lawful long residence route. No, now. So let's, without further ado, let's go into it. Now, as I said, there have been some changes, no, na bagong batas nito, okay, on the 11th of April. So less than a month ago. We're also going to tackle that. So unang-una, so what is long residence route, indefinite leave to remain? There are mainly two types of long residence. Pagka sa mga tao, sabi nila long residence, they sometimes be in the 20-year route, which can include kung overstay nga kayo, it can be included there, but it's 20 years. Ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon, it's to do with lawful residence. So now, we're going to be dealing with lawful residence of 10 years. So what is lawful? What is long residence route? An application under the long residence route enables a person with 10 years continuous and lawful years residence in the UK to apply for indefinite leave to remain. So, ibig sabihin, kung nandito na kayong 10 taon, dire-diretsong visa nyo, okay? And of course, in between, you've made applications for extensions, and you've been in the UK for all that time, meron nga kayong visa, then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. Probably, okay? Now, it's all very well saying that, but how do you work out if you qualify nga, for indefinite leave to remain under the long residence route? Not all visas, okay? So ang umpisa nga, not all visas can actually satisfy or qualify towards the time. So there are exceptions nga. So tingnan natin may exception. So, for example, kung dumating nga kayo dito visitor visa, and for whatever reason, natagal nga kayo dito. Kung visitor visa kayo, that's not going to count. That's not going to entitle you towards the lawful resident. Short-term student visa, mainly yung mga taong nag-aaral dito English, and that's it's quite a short visa nga. Seasonal workers, mga agricultural workers, they won't also qualify nga. Applicants exempt from immigration control. So for example, kung nandito kayo as a under the diplomatic service, again, the 10-year lawful residence will not help you. Or indeed, if you're in the United Kingdom as an EEA national, no? So EU nga, no? Or family member of an EEA national, the 10-year route again would not help you. So tingnan natin, when would it help? It's best with a lot of immigration provisions nga, best to look at an example. So tingnan natin, okay? So sabihin natin, Maria, okay? So tingnan natin how you add the timing nga, no? So sabihin natin si Maria, nandito siya, estudyante siya. So student visa for 4 years, okay? Before the visa expired, meron siya nakilala, and they decided to marry. So ginawa niya, pinalitan niya ang visa niya from that of a student to that of a married, to a spouse visa. Now, nakakuha siya ng extension, and then another extension, but unfortunately, the relationship failed. Okay, so 4 years into the visa. So 4 years student, 4 years na spouse visa siya. Nagpasok siya ng application because binubugbog siya ng asawa niya under the domestic violence route. Okay, now the domestic violence route, because now there's no enough evidence to be granted a visa, that application was refused. So nag-appeal siya, no? Nagpasok siya ng appeal si Maria. Now, at the appeal, at the court, at the first-tier tribunal, hindi siya nanalo under the domestic violence route, but the judge said, nevertheless, we're going to grant you a visa under human rights. Okay? So binigyan niya ng visa. 2.5 years, sabihin natin. Okay? So 4 years na nga siya dati, no? As a student, 4 years pa as a spouse. And then eventually she won her appeal and got another 2.5 years. Now, can she apply for indefinite leave to remain under the long residence route? Kung yun ang kaso nga niya. Yes is a quick answer. No? More likely than not. Pwede niya pagsasamahin nga yung mga visa. So the student visa, the spouse visa, and even the appeal time, no, that she appealed in time, and then later on nga the domestic work visa. So they will all count towards the 10-year route, including the time that she was waiting for the appeal to come up, and then the appeal obviously was granted. Okay, the reason for that is something called 3C leave. Yung mga kliyente ko nanonood ngayon, they may remember me saying, "Don't worry about it. Pasok na yung application nga to extend your visa. Kahit hindi pa nga tapos, meron ka pang visa nga dito, dire-diretso pa rin under the 3C provision." Okay, so this is very familiar to my clients. Nga. It's the 3C leave under the 1971 Immigration Act, no? So dire-diretso yung visa niya. So si Maria, pwede siyang magpasok ng application under the 10-year lawful residence, even though una nga estudyante siya, pangalawa naging spouse visa siya, pangatlo na nagpasok siya ng application na refuse, nag-appeal siya in time, no? Tapos nakakuha nga siya ng visa, pwede niyang isama-sama yun, and once she has completed 10 years or nearly 10 years, pag-usapan din natin mamaya, no? Nearly 10 years leave to remain as under the long residence route, then she can make an application for indefinite leave to remain. Now, as usual, no, life is not so simple. Sabihin natin may mga problema. Gaps is the enemy of the long residence route. Okay, so ano mangyayari? Sabihin natin Maria had a short spell, no, when she did not have a visa. No, does that mean na hindi siya makakakuha ng indefinite under the long residence route? Not necessarily. Tingnan natin. Okay. Now, the general rule is any period of overstaying, any period, will break a period of continuous lawful residence, but not always. So yun una, no? So so do not be tempted not to do anything is what I'm getting at, no? But it does not always break the continuous residence. So tingnan nga natin. Now, prime example, especially kung itong kaso nyo, look at a case called Afzal, no? AFZAL. It's a court of appeal case. It was in 2021. So doon, the court of appeal there clarified some periods of overstaying may be disregarded in some circumstances. Okay, so let's go back to Maria. Sabihin natin, no? So sabihin natin nga, she applied to change her student visa, no, to a spouse visa. Before now her visa had expired. Okay, sabihin natin on the 30th of April 2008. So estudyante siya, nagpasok, her visa then expired on the 30th of April 2008. Bago siya nagpasok ng application for a spouse visa. Okay, so she did she made an application 10 days later. Sabihin natin may nangyari sa kanya, aksidente siya o nakalimutan niya. But so there's a reason, hopefully a good reason why it is na nakalimutan na hindi niya nagawa, no? And oftentimes it's illness, no? That's at least my experience, mga kliyente ko. Rarely do people forget na matatapos ng visa nila. Most of my clients, certainly ako, sumusunod ako sa nila about 3 months before, and then 2 months before, and then 1 month before, and then nearly every day hinahabol ko sila. So hindi makakalimutan nga. But most people nga, they won't forget it. No? But it happens also, especially kung may nagkasakit nga kayo, meron kayong mga pamilya nga dito nagkasakit, umuwi kayo, especially during the COVID times. No? So sabihin natin wala siyang visa for 10 days, tapos nagpasok siya ng application for spouse visa. Now, she then was granted, no, a visa as a spouse nga, that she was only she was an overstayer, if you like, for less than 14 days. No? The rules also provide for that. Now, so hindi nga yung naging problema back in 2008. But is it now a problem? Because of course, hindi nga lang yung 10 days na wala siyang visa, but the time that it took to get the new visa. So sabihin natin nagpasok siyang application on the 10th of May, on the 9th of May, yeah? So 10 days na siyang walang visa, and then nagpasok siya ng application, wala na nga siyang visa, but that application was not granted until say 2 months later. Sabihin natin 30th of June 2008. So for some 70 days, si Maria wala siyang visa. So what does that mean? Does that break then the continuous residence? Not necessarily is the good news, okay? Yung nga lang, because it was the 14 days, nakakuha nga siya ng visa, yung nga lang po, the 70 days na gap will not count towards the 10 years. No? So even though it does not break and it does not disqualify Maria for making an application for indefinite leave to remain under the long residence route, ibig sabihin yung 70 days na yon, it cannot count towards the 10 years. So kung kapos pa siya, no, ng 70 days, she needs to apply a little bit later on, and hopefully meron pa nga siyang visa, to take into account nga the 70 days gap. Okay? Now, so it does not necessarily, break, as I say, the residence. But what happens if you another problem, that my clients often encounter here is absences from the United Kingdom. So sabihin natin especially during the COVID times, or indeed even now. So what happens if you're absent from the United Kingdom? No mga holidays, hindi nga problema. But what if it's a longer time? Now, what does the rule provide? Now, this is where a lot of the changes nga happened on the 11th of April. Basic rule, is you should not be absent from the United Kingdom more than 180 days in any rolling 12-month period. Okay, but there are exemptions nga under this new appendix. So, ang tawag nga appendix continuous residence. Okay, bit of a mouthful really. It's frankly not very easy to read yung mga yung panibagong batas nga, and certainly at least a couple of the provisions I don't frankly understand the reasoning behind it. So I'll give you an example nga. Okay, I'll read to you what the guidance, according to sa Home Office, the continuous residence guidance provide. Okay, so this is directly from the Home Office. Sabi dito, an applicant's 10-year qualifying period will be, so ito sila nagbibigay sa example, will be completed on the 30th of April 2026. So this is an example nga nila. The applicant had been absent from the UK for 40 days in 2023. The applicant is also planning to leave the UK between March and July 2025, 480 days. As the absences in 2023 started before 11 April 2024, when the law changed, they must be no longer than 184 days. Any absence that started after the 11th of April 2024 must be less than 180 days in any 12 calendar months. As the 10-year period extends beyond 11 April, there's no 548 gap day limit. Clear as mud? I'm not surprised, it is confusing. And that is an example, hindi nga yung batas. That's actually an example from the Home Office nga mismo. So, it just means, unpacking that a little bit, is someone who's already completed 10 years in the UK, who has leave that will take them past April 2024, but who did not qualify under the old rules because of absences exceeding 548 days, should now qualify, okay, because of the change in the law. But to be frank, it's so confusing. I have been reading this since it was since the 11th of April, because obviously that's when it came about. And I read it, and frankly, I kind of understand it. I understand it initially. Tapos, within about 10 minutes, I'd forgotten it because it is truly very confusing, no? So kung marami nga kayong absences in the UK o meron kayong plano mag-holiday, before you make an application under the long residence route, see a solicitor. Try and make sure nga that you do your calculations correctly kung marami nga kayong absences. Now, just on that, talking about timing, no? When do you apply? Now, most of the time, kapag nagpapasok ako ng application sa mga kliyente ko, it's fairly clear now when you should apply. This can be a bit confusing, so pay attention, no? Now, the earliest that someone can have an application granted, no, so the Home Office, under the 10-year rule is 28 days before completing the qualifying period of 10 years. Okay, let's unpack that a bit. So, kung nagpasok kayo ng application, no, 28 days before you're going to be 10 years, you're fine. Okay? Or indeed, meron kong mga kliyente, lagpas na sila ng 10 years. No? So, lagpas na sila ng 10 years, may visa pa sila, of course, they qualify. Because clearly, you have already completed the qualifying period of 10 years by the time you make the application. But life is not always so straightforward. What happens if matatapos na ang visa nyo before the 28 days? What happens then if you need, you're outside the 28-day period, no? What should you do? Now, una nga, kung matapos ng visa nyo, regardless of the fact na hindi pa nga kayo 28 days, for goodness sake, make the application, okay? You don't want any gaps. Do not entertain any gaps. Make the application nevertheless. Now, pagka nagpasok kayong application, but it's too early, napakaaga nga, if the Home Office deal with it, say 28 days before the 10-year nga, you're still fine, okay? Because that's what the rules now provide. So 28 days, nagpasok kayo, say sabihin natin you're 2 months early, okay? Pero hindi nila tinignan nga until 28 days before the visa, before the qualifying period, not the visa expired, but the qualifying period, the 10 years nga, you're fine. Pero kung matingnan nga nila before the 28 days qualifying period, bago kayo magte 10 years, 28 days before kayo 10 years, then they will probably refuse it. Okay? Because you have not yet satisfied the 10-year rule. Now, what happens if they do that? They should, nevertheless, grant you an extension of your visa. Yung nga lang nakakainis. Because, of course, you get then an extension. Okay? By the way, coming back to that, because it's sometimes you have to apply for an extension. So, if you can, timing is important with all applications. You need to get the timing right, but probably particularly important na nito. Because it's the 28 days. So I always get asked, magte 10 years na yung kliyente ko, when should they make the application? So ang sagot po ito, 28 days, no earlier than 28 days before you reach the 10-year qualifying period. Preferably, you've already reached the 10-year qualifying period by the time you make the application. Pero kung hindi nga yung pwede, as I say, make the application. Do not allow your visa to lapse, no? Because that's just counterproductive. Make the application anyway and hope that you're not going to look at it nga until, say, 28 days before the qualifying period is finished. No? Sometimes wala kang choice because matatapos na nga ang visa nyo, no? Now, let's say the timing nyo okay lahat, no? So you've done the 10 years. Okay, kahit may gap nga kayo, it doesn't hurt your application. You made an application, or you can make an application 28 days, 28 days before the 10-year qualifying period. And that's not all the requirements. There are others. Don't forget, no? So, the other things that they will look at, apart from the 10-year period, is your application must not fall for ang tawag nga nila general grounds for refusal. So basically, suitability. By that, they really mean character. No? So for example, kung meron kayong mga convictions o may problema of bankruptcy, anything nga like that, litigation debt, no? Make sure nga that if you litigation debt, make sure you pay it. If otherwise, explain it, no? Because they may refuse it on suitability, on general grounds for refusal otherwise. But as I say, better to make the declaration and clarify it. Now, also, kailangan yung pumasa the two things for indefinite leave to remain, as most people have to, for indefinite leave to remain, that's the Life in the UK test and the English language. They're two separate requirements, no? Two separate tests. The English language requirement, basically B1, ang tawag, B1 level, no? It's quite a bit more, it's quite a bit harder than say the A1 mainly for spouse or indeed A2, no? B1 ay yung ang level nga mainly for if you're coming to the United Kingdom, say to work, okay? So yun ang kailangan yung pakita, the B1 level. But most of my clients nga, the B1 level is not usually an issue. Ang mas mahirap, and ang kailangan yung umpisa na nga ngayon, if you're looking to make an application for indefinite leave to remain, or for that matter, naturalization, if you did not get indefinite, if you did not do the life in the UK nga before, is pag-aralan nyo na yung life in the UK, because that is quite hard actually. Get the book, no? If you prefer to study using paper like me, okay? Or not just or, but and also practice. You can get an app, no? But you have to pass both the B1 English language level and the life in the UK. Kailangan yung pakita yun, okay? And of course, you have to be lawfully resident in the United Kingdom at the time you make the application. Now, coming back to yung usapan natin kanina, the limited leave to remain. So sabihin natin, nagpass mo yung application, as I say, they make they deal with maaga nga, because the visa will expire before they deal with the application short of the 28 days before the qualifying period of 10 years, and then they refuse your application for indefinite, but they grant you limited leave to remain. It can happen. You can also, no, under the 10-year route, apply for limited leave to remain. Now, why would you do that? Unless you have to, and sometimes you have to. And the most problematic, no, issue that leads my clients not to delay, the indefinite leave to remain is kung di pa sila nakakuha ng life in the UK test or the English language. Ang problema often is time, no? Busy tayo sa buhay. So, especially mga kung meron kayong trabaho, sometimes, no? Hindi nga lang isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, no? Ang trabaho ng mga kliyente ko. So, there's no time really to study. So you have to make time to study to pass this life in the UK test, because it is difficult. So sabihin nga natin, hindi pa kayo ready, dahil wala nga kayong life in the UK test, hindi pa kayo nakapasa. Don't despair. You still need to make an application, no, for extension of leave to remain. But beware, again, the new rules kind of muddied that a bit. So, but do not think that you should not make an application. Magpasok kayo yung application pa rin for limited leave to remain. Yung nga lang, of course, iba nga ang application. Papasok niyo, because of course, iba nga ang fee, for example. So the fee, let's go to the practicalities of it. So ang ipapasok niyo application, as usual, online application, no? Kung indefinite nang papasok niyo, ang fee po ngayon, £2,389. Fortunately, there's no IHS Immigration Health Surcharge on top of that. But nevertheless, it's $2,389. Now, kung hindi alam nyo, hindi kayo nakapasa nga muna ng indefinite ng life in the UK test, you want to make an application, extension nga lang. Ang bayad po is £1,048 plus the IHS fees, okay? Which is approximately 1,600, a little bit more, in order nga to apply. So it's an expensive application, or like all applications nga are expensive now, no? But still, no, kung makuha nyo nga ito, of course, it means indefinite na kayo. Indefinite leave to remain. Now, what does that mean? Settlement status, otherwise known as permanent residence, no? So, ibig sabihin, pwede na kayo dito, hindi nyo kailangan magpasok ng ano pa, no? Going forward, other than, if you want to, applying for naturalization. Naturalization, kung makuha nyo nga yun, then you can then make an application for a British passport. Okay? So it's the long residence route nga to do with for indefinite leave to remain is often confusing. And actually, I'm always surprised at how many people have been in the United Kingdom for that length of time. 10 years, ang tagal. 10 years is a decade, huh? But people are here, and oftentimes it's not just in the past. Long time ago, it was not unusual to see a student nga in the United Kingdom for 10 years plus. For 10 years nga, and then even then they could apply under the long residence route. But now it's very unusual to just get nga a student for that length of time. In fact, I've not come across a student who's been in the United Kingdom for all that time, or probably for at least 10 years. So normally, yung long residence route, indefinite leave to remain under the long residence route, usually kailangan it's a question of pulling together different types of visas that can apply. But yung nga, earlier on, sabi ko, there's some visas na hindi nyo pwedeng idugtong. Okay? And of course, if you are an overstayer, matagal na nga kayo dito, pero wala nga kayong visa, then the 10-year long residence route is no good to you, because you do not have what they call lawful residence in the United Kingdom. But you could look at the 20-year rule, but it doesn't give you indefinite leave to remain, not anymore. Before there was for those of you who've been here a long time, or old like me, matatandaan niyo siguro the 14-year rule, but that went years ago, at least a decade ago. I'm sure longer than that. Yeah, and it's in its place is the 20-year route, but the 20-year route does not give you indefinite leave to remain. It gives you potentially leave to remain 2.5 years now. So, but the going back to the 10-year route, the lawful residence of 10 years can be a very useful route nga. Kung matagal na nga kayo dito and you can nalagaan yung visa nyo, but and as I say, even the time nag-iintay nga kayo for the appeal to be dealt with, that can also count towards the 10 years, as long as, of course, you then when you appeal. So it can be a very useful route, but beware especially given the changes on the 11th of April. Beware. You must make sure it's very technical. I think that's the description for it. May mga application nga they're not terribly technical. It's difficult in different ways. Pero ito, it's quite technical nga. Much like say kung papasok nga kayo dito as a worker or student. So it's more technical than anything else. You need to do, like in some mga kliyente, you need to do your sums when they need to provide income evidence nga. So ito nga din, you need to do your sums, but in relation to periods of time, and make sure nga that if you have gaps, have a look. Okay, is that gap going to be counted, or not? If not, then you may need to apply a little bit later. But anyway, so that, as they say, is that in relation to long residence route, 10 indefinite leave to remain, to do with long residence route. So part 2 of our trilogy to applying for indefinite leave to remain. Now, now comes my favorite part of our show. The whole thing I do enjoy. Thursdays is I enjoy Thursdays a lot. You probably noticed, I like talking, so I have a kind of captured audience, which is great. Now, but my favorite part in all of this, in batian. So hopefully may mabati sa akin nga.